Before you sleep in a hotel, ask yourself, do you really know the hands that hold the keys to your room? A young woman once checked into a roadside guest house called Restwell Lodge. She was on her way to a job interview and, before sleeping, she called her husband. "I'm safe," she told him. "I'm at a small hotel by the crossroads. Don't worry, I'll be home soon." That was the last time he ever heard her voice. On the lonely outskirts of a Nigerian town, along a dim and quiet road, stood Restwell Lodge. To strangers, it seemed harmless, cheap rooms, warm smiles from the owners, and the comforting smell of food drifting from the kitchen. But behind its walls lived a secret that no guest ever lived long enough to expose. The man who owned the lodge had once been a butcher in the market. His knives were sharp, his hands steady, and his face calm. When business failed, he and his wife did not abandon his skill. They simply found a darker use for it. Guests would check in tired and hungry. The wife would serve them pepper soup. The husband would smile and promise safety. But at night, the butcher's blade told a different story. It was into this house that the young woman walked on the evening before her interview. She was tired, and the road ahead was dangerous at night. The couple welcomed her warmly, gave her food, and led her to her room. Later that night, while the world slept, the butcher and his wife carried out their true work. The blade flashed, the cries were silenced, and by dawn, the room was spotless, as though no one had ever stayed there. The next morning, her husband called her phone. It rang, but she did not answer. He dialed again, and again. Finally, in panic, he called the lodge itself. "Good morning," he said. "My wife lodged there last night. Can I speak to her?" The woman's calm voice replied, "No such guest was here. Nobody by that name lodged with us." The husband reported to the police. They investigated the lodge, questioned the couple, searched the rooms. But the evidence was gone, bedsheets replaced, floors scrubbed, her belongings missing. The police left with only suspicion. But in the kitchen of Restwell Lodge, a pot of pepper soup was still boiling. And the butcher's knife was being sharpened once more. Before you ever sleep in a strange hotel, ask yourself, do you really know the hands that guard your night? That night, the owners of Restwell Lodge didn't sleep. The woman paced back and forth, whispering, "What if the police come back?" Her husband only smiled, sharpening his knife slowly. The sound of metal scraping stone filled the room. Outside, the rain started. Heavy, loud, and endless. The muddy road hid every footprint, every drop of blood. But the next morning, something strange happened. A little boy from the next compound came running, shouting that the rain had uncovered something behind the lodge. The villagers followed him, and what they saw froze their hearts. Behind Restwell Lodge, the earth had shifted. A dog was barking at a shallow pit. Inside it was a woman's shoe. A light blue shoe. The police returned immediately. They dug deeper, and what they found sent fear through the entire village. Old bones, bracelets, torn clothes, all from people who were said to have lodged at Restwell Lodge and never returned home. The owners denied everything again. But as the officers searched the kitchen, one of them noticed something chilling, a familiar yellow fabric stuck under the big cooking pot. The same color Ngozi wore. The lead officer turned to the couple. "Whose cloth is this?" he asked quietly. The butcher froze. His wife looked away, her lips trembling. And then, a loud knock came at the lodge door. Everyone turned. It was a man, drenched in rain, holding a Bible and a small black bag. He said in a calm voice, "I came to rest for the night." The police looked at each other in silence. The butcher's eyes widened. The wife swallowed hard. The officer whispered, "Don't touch anything. Let him in." And as the stranger stepped inside, the lantern light flickered. The man looked around the room, slowly, like he had been there before. Then he smiled. And that was when everything changed. Watch out for part 3.